Hi everyone, it's Tammy, and today I'm going to share with you gifts for the knitters that you might have in your life. I was going to say for crafty people, but really this is geared toward knitters. I may do another video for crafters, or maybe paper crafters would be a better way to say it, but honestly, I am so into knitting right now that this is what's on my head, and so this is what I'm going to share with you guys, because I know that sometimes people are hard to get for, and there are so many things that us crafters love, and I think that sometimes we don't even know what's out there, or maybe it's something we haven't seen before, or maybe it's even fine if we have more than one. I mean, we don't care. We'd be happy with any of these. So I'm going to give you a rundown of some of the things that I have thought about, but I don't necessarily have them in any sort of order, and I will try to link or put links in the description box below so that you can find the things that I've talked about below, and I'm going to try to keep it true to the order that I tell you about them, hopefully. So bear with me, because I am doing this on Sunday, December 2nd, but it's going to take me a little bit of time to edit. I'm hoping to have this up tomorrow, but I'm not positive when this is going to go up, but I will need it soon so that you guys can get the gifts. So let's not continue to talk, but books. Books are good for knitters. I like books that I can write in, such as this. This one says, I love exercise, if by exercise you mean knitting. And then it's just blank on the inside with lined paper. It has a cute little picture down there. I haven't even started to use this. I will say that this one is bound. It would be a little bit nicer if it was spiral, or you could take this book to your local office supply store and ask them to spiral it. So that would be maybe a good thing to do prior to giving it to a gift person, or even just sharing that idea with them, because it's hard to use it when it doesn't like open flat or stay open. It's kind of hard to use. So I think I am going to take this and get this spiral, and I think it costs about $5. It's somewhere between $5 and $10 to do that. So it's not a big deal, but it is something that's nice. So this would be a nice present. Also, something that is a nice present if the person likes to design would be a knitting graph design paper journal. And this is the same kind of thing. Again, if you want to get it spiral bound, you can. This just has graph paper on the inside. And it has a place on the bottom. It says yarns, needle sizes, whether or not you blocked it, and notes. So it allows you to design your own like color work patterns. It's kind of neat. And it tells you the ratio on the front of this particular one, and this is Sarah Blank Note, and I found this on Amazon, so I will share the link for this as well. I think I found both of these on Amazon, so I will share the links, and you'll see several things from Amazon below. And just so you know, I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you use the links below, it doesn't cost you anything more, but I may get a little bit of a kickback. I haven't gotten anything yet. I don't use it very often, so I probably won't, but just for full disclosure. Not that I think I need to share everything, but I mean, I do. That sounded bad, but I mean, just for transparency. So this is kind of nice. I have more books, but they're over here. So let me just, I'm not going to go in any particular order. A mug, a knitter's mug. These are so cute. This is from David's Tea. I will link that below as well. It doesn't have to be this mug, but any mug that has, this is a knitting pattern. This is knit stitch. It can be a knitted, handmade, hand-pottered mug. You can find them on Etsy everywhere, or it could be one that has a cute little saying on it for knitters. Anything like that is fabulous. If they like coffee or if they like tea, tuck some of that on the inside. David's Tea is fabulous. I personally have a Keurig and I love that. So, I mean, if you wanted to fill it with little Keurig cups, that would be cute. Even hot cocoa, anything like that would be fabulous. Another thing that we can't get enough of are project bags. That's what this is. You can find them on Etsy if you search for project bags. There are all different kinds. My personal favorite is the drawstring bag. There's some with zippers, there's some with snaps, there's all sorts of everything. There's something for everyone. You might just look and see what your friend might have and get something similar or get something different. You know, maybe they haven't tried a drawstring bag. Maybe they only have zip bags, or maybe they haven't tried a zip bag. You know, you never know. So anything like that is fine. And they come in all different shapes and sizes. I say there's no size that wouldn't be used. The bigger ones hold sweater quantities. The small ones hold a single ball of yarn. They're all fabulous, and we use each and every one of them. So I think that a project bag is great, and I just have 2 examples of project bags. Both of these happen to be the drawstring bag because that's what I grabbed. That's what I'm using right now, and I think that any knitter would be happy to have these, or crocheter, because you just put a project in here and it's good. Another thing that I think is great and is called a needle keeper. This is the magic wand of needles, and this prevents your work from coming off the needles. So one of the bad things with with knitting while you're traveling, or knitting and putting it down for any extended period of time, is that you could drop your stitches, which means your stitches could come off of the needle. And if that happens, that's a knitter's worst nightmare. So this is something that is available that will allow you to put your needles in this little needle keeper, and it won't come off, the needles won't slip out, and your project is safe for whatever travels you're doing. I could throw this in my bag and I could take this with me wherever I go, and it is fabulous because I know that my needles are safe and my project is safe. So if I'm going somewhere, I usually try to travel with my little needle keeper. I only have one. I got this at the local scrapbooks, at my local yarn store. I will check it out and see if I can find them on Amazon, and I'll try to again link that below. But it is called the Needle Keeper, and it says the magic wand. It was $7.99, so it's not expensive, and it's just a nice handy little trinket. I don't know, a little something that some may not have even known that they needed until they see it. And that takes me to my next thing, because I am picking my dry skin right now because it just got caught on my yarn, which is not uncommon. So something that knitters need is lotion. And there's beautiful lotion on Etsy. This happens to be a bar lotion. This is shea and cocoa butter, and this one happens to smell like almond. I have them in other scents as well. I keep them in my project bags. This is by Joan's Gardens on Etsy, and I will link her below. And in the US, she ships this for free, and it's only $6. And it's fabulous. I love it. So actually, I got this one for a friend, and I love the way it smells. This one smells of almond. I mean, I could literally just sit here and smell it. It smells so good. Another favorite lotion is the Utterly Smooth Hand Cream. I'm actually going to use this now, as I didn't close it all the way, and it's like coming out of the thing. Good grief. Okay, so close it all the way when you put it up, but you can find this anywhere. You can find it even at the hardware store. There's all different kinds of lotions, Bath and Body Works lotions, any lotion really. Women like lotion usually. This one happens to be just a really good one. It doesn't have much of a scent. It's not floral or fruity or any of that. It's just, it's kind of a, I mean, it has a scent, but it's nothing that's anything really. And it isn't greasy, and it soaks in nicely in your skin, which is fabulous, and you can put it all over your cuticles. Same with the other. And I do keep those in my bag just so you can see. Here is my lotion bar. This one is pumpkin spice, and it's almost, I mean, it's more than halfway gone. Oh, and it smells divine too. I even use this on my lips. Like if I am crafting late in the day and I don't have any lipstick on or whatever, and my lips feel dry, I just take this and rub this on my lips also. I mean, it's just shea butter, or shea and cocoa butter, so you can certainly do that. So those are great gifts for the knitter. Speaking of project bags, this is another kind of a project bag. This is a needle keeper. So I think it's made for double-sided or double-sided needles, which have points on both ends, and you can slide them in there and close it. But when I was talking about notion bags or bags of any size, this is another bag. I mean, so like if your budget is really small and you found a small and you're wondering if this would be handy, we will find a use for any of this. I don't use double pointed needles, but I have taken my needles and put them in here and use that kind of as a needle keeper. This one might be a poor example because this is a mitten, so it's on small needles, but you can take it and you can stick it in like this. Your project will hang out, your needles are down, and it still works with this, but this is kind of a bad example, but you keep your needles safe, your project safe, it works fabulously. It even has a little pocket here on the outside that I can stick some other notions in if I needed to. So any size project bag, and if you go to Etsy and Google project bag, you will not be disappointed, or even knitter's project bag. You will find some things for sure. I'm just going to kind of put some things away as I'm doing it. Another thing that might be neat is if you go to Etsy and you type in indie dyer or indie yarn, I-N-D-I-E, you will find all sorts of different indie dyers that dye their own yarn, and it is just fabulous. Here is one from Yarn Cafe Creations, and it has all different kinds, such styles of yarn. I don't think a knitter would be disappointed in anything that you picked out for them. So if you just found a really neat, uncommon, or beautiful colored skein of yarn that you thought was just fabulous, I am sure the knitter in your life would find something to do with this. So I would recommend just searching and finding beautiful hand-dyed yarns that you would like. Another thing that's kind of neat, and I know I have one already out, but I saved the packaging to show you guys. It is called a yarn cozy, and there were 3 in here, and it was $13.99. I got this at my local yarn store. You can find them on Amazon. You can find other brands on Etsy. People make them. They're neat. This one is from Buffy and Design, and it is just a yarn cozy, and just like this shows, you put your skein of yarn inside the yarn cozy. So I know I have mine out, but I'm just going to take this last one because I don't need to save the packaging now, because I was saving it just for you guys. And I brought a skein of yarn that I have balled up, and you just take, and I want to be able to pull it from the center and not unwind the ball. So once you've wound it into a center pull, you can just simply take this yarn cozy and put it over your ball of yarn. So it's like this, and then I can safely pull this out, and once I get it going, it would have just one strand coming out of the top, and it safely holds my yarn. And as I use the yarn, it kind of tightens up against it because it's a little bit, it's like a sock, how it's fitted. So it will just stay with your yarn, and it won't unravel your yarn, and it will prevent your cats, if you have any or if they have any, from grabbing your yarn. Well, kind of. Mine still like to grab the thread between the ball in my project, but this helps it from rolling around and all of that for them to get. So I really like the yarn cozies. I have just recently started using them, but I like them. So there is that. From the Sexy Stitcher, or the Sexy Knitter on Etsy, I found this really cute macaroon that holds some goodies, and I would recommend all of these kinds of things. This one holds goodies like this, and you might be wondering what in the world they are. I did do a video of the Sexy Knitter and the things that I got from her, but so you can see that separately, but just to show you things that we like. These scissors are amazing. They don't look like much. Even when you take the cap off, they don't look like much, but they cut really well, and they are really nice, and they're fun to have. And I have several pairs that I can just keep like attached to a project bag, or some of them, this, I'm not gonna lie, this thing will get caught up here, and I've cut the string off of many of them just because I've cut through it when I was doing something else. And it's fine. I mean, it works just great. I just keep it in my little notions pouch, and I'll show you that in a little bit. So, I mean, those are great. Any sort of tape measure, there's cute ones that are just fun. You can just, and if it had centimeters and inches, that's the best. And really, if it's not flexible, that's a nice one too. I mean, you don't want one that's stretchy or any of that, but nice handy. Here's another scissors. So this is like a notions pouch, but it's a macaroon, which is cute. Stitch markers. Stitch markers come in all shapes and sizes, and they are just fun. So this one comes on a bangle that the person can actually wear. Oh, whoops, and then it would help if I showed you the actual side. And these are just enamel stitch markers. You can find them handmade, you can find all different sorts, and I'll show you some more, and I'll list some of my favorite shops below. But this is just, they're really cute, and you might not know what a stitch marker is, but I guarantee the knitter in your life would know what these are and would treasure them. So that's something that you might check out. Some more stitch markers. This is, I think these are like made from Shrinky Dinks. And there's all different kinds. There's kinds that are just round at the top, like have just a solid metal, or there's some that are a lobster claw. There are some that have the earring back. It's going to be your knitter's preference as to what they like. Personally, I like the big earring back that opens up nicely and is a little wider, but I obviously have all different kinds, and I like them and use them all. Anything with sheep, like this is just a little pin that I found on Etsy, and it's just so cute. It's just a little sheep and with googly eyes, and I can wear it on like a cowl or whatever because it's a hand knit, and you know, wools come from sheeps, so it's, well, not all sheep, but alpaca or goats or whatever, but sheep is often what you think about. And so anything like little earrings or jewelry, just super cute. I think that your knitter would love that. I have a package here from Etsy that I haven't even opened yet, but it's stitch markers or progress keepers. We call them, I call them interchangeable, because you can kind of, but they are a little different. But progress keepers always have the lobster clasp, or at least a clasp. They're not the round solid ones. The round solid ones are really stitch markers. The lobster clasp ones are more progress keepers because you can clip it on and you can keep track of how far you've gotten in a project in any particular time. But look at this little teacup that isn't focusing. But it is an adorable little teacup with a little saucer, and it has little flowers on the sides. It's just really cute. Super cute. And this is from Tilting Planet on Etsy. And there's teacups, and this is just a little fur ball, and here is a cute little holiday bow. I mean, they're just adorable, and we like them just because they are adorable. They are not absolutely necessary. It's just a fun extra and a nice stocking stuffer. Something else that you might consider as a stocking stuffer would be buttons. These happen to be handmade buttons, which are even neater. These are ceramic handmade buttons, but you can find buttons anywhere, and we like them because sometimes our projects require buttons, and it's a fun little gift, and sometimes they aren't that inexpensive. Some buttons can be quite pricey. So I personally don't like to buy my own, I mean, I do buy my own buttons, but I don't like to because you feel like you're spending a lot of money on buttons, and you've already spent money on the yarn, and you've spent your time doing it, and now you have to go and spend more money on buttons, and sometimes it's like, oh, it's an added expense. Albeit sometimes it's necessary. You want to be able to close your cardigan or your jacket or whatever it is that you're making. But if I got some buttons as a gift, I would love that. So I thought I would share that. Another something that I have, this is from the Clever Cove, and they have some really, really cute things. There was something else from them that I thought, oh, it was just this so that I could show you. They have hedgehogs, they do lots of critter things, and they have these little notepads. This says things to do before I can knit, and this says nailed it, and it has a little cat knitting a hat with some balls of yarn, and then there's balls of yarn down here, and then here on the bottom that you probably can't read because it's too small, but it says disclaimer. It cannot be guaranteed that knitting will not occur before this list is finished. And then it's from www.theclevercove.com, and I will try to remember to link all of these below, but I thought this was really cute. And they sell stitch markers, they sell lots of different things, really, really cute things like that little cat and that hedgehog. I think I have something to show you, something else with them too. I have another pair of scissors. I actually think that is going in a present to someone. And here's something that's kind of fun. This is a bracelet that holds little stitch markers. And I don't even remember where this is from, but I think I purchased it on Etsy, and it has a progress keeper up here. And then all of these 5 are stitch markers, and I could pick the color of the stitch marker. It may have even been from the Clever Clove. I don't know. I will find it and I will link it below. But it's just really cute. You can keep it on you. It doesn't look like it's anything in particular. It's actually kind of just a cute little bracelet. And I haven't worn it yet, but I should. I did try it on and it fits, so I should wear it just because it's kind of neat. Another thing that I haven't gotten yet, but I did order on Black Friday, is a wrist ruler. And it literally is a ruler made of leather that you wear wrapped around your wrist twice. And you may have seen them, but if you're not a knitter, you won't know what I'm talking about. But that is an awesome present. I am excited to have that. And project bags, I mean, there's lots of great ones, and I will list, I don't have, like, from some people that I'd love to have a project bag from. I can't get this on with one hand. I need a bracelet helper. So that might be why I'm not wearing it. I will link down below some, I'll try to remember to link down below some of the project bags that I'd really like to have. I know the Fat Squirrel and Mrs. Brown bags are 2 that I would like to have, and most of those are the zippery kind. I would fall for the zippery kind to be able to have a bag from them because they're awesome. Oh, some more progress keeper. These are from Hiya, and I really like these. These are just little balls of yarn, and it has a really large holder that fits on any needle that you might need, and they're colorful. I think it came in a package of 6, and they're just really fun knit markers, or stitch markers. So I just wanted to show you that, guys, those as well. I brought lots of things in here to show you, which means I'll have lots of things to take back. So I'm trying to keep it all together. This is a yarn cutter, and I know that I have some yarn somewhere in this bag. Again, another project bag. But this will take your yarn, and you can wear it as a necklace if you wanted to. It has a hole in the front. I just usually keep it in my notions bag, but you just take your yarn and put it in there, and then it cuts your yarn. It's super nice, and it's inexpensive and very handy to have if you can't take scissors or something like that. This would be something that I would say is very handy, and this was made by Clover. And again, I will try to link that below. I'm gonna have to watch this video and write everything down, and then, so I have this project keeper or notions pouch that I don't even know where I got it, but I love it. And highlighters, very important. If your knitter does graphs, or even to keep track of rows that you're on, I keep a highlighter with me. I keep one in this notions pouch, and then this is the one I usually take with me if I go anywhere. And then I have another one that stays here, and I have a whole slew of different colored, and sometimes I will put them in the project bags with whatever project I'm working on. So these are great. Oh, here's another stitch marker from the Clever Clove, and this is the earring back kind that I'm talking about. It's a larger circle, it's easier to open, and they're just really cute. This one happens to be a metal one. Here is a progress keeper from Sweet Cherry Jewelry. On Etsy, it's sweetcherryshop.etsy.com, and it's a taco with all of the fixins. I mean, it looks very realistic. There's lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, sour cream, ground beef, cute little taco shell. I mean, it makes me want to eat a taco. It is so darn cute. Stitch markers, again, they come in all shapes and sizes. These are some of my favorite. They are very inexpensive. You can find them at Joann's, at Michael's, at your local yarn store, online, everywhere. These are just stitch markers that are just fabulous. And this is another stitch markers that I got on Etsy, and these are great too. They look like little cats, and it has the little tin, and it comes with a bunch of them. They're just metal, and you can see the little cat ears. Just really cute, and they work well, and you get several. So that's always a nice gift, or an add-on gift, or whatever. I actually have 2 of them in here because I like them and I use them so much. I'm putting all this stuff back in here, including my highlighter. And then let me go to the other side, because over here I have a tape measure. I have scissors, those pink ones, and then these are called, I think they're called, what are they called? Like thingamajigs or something like that. Handy tools, something like that. And it has a point on one end and then like a crochet hook on the other end. And these are very handy for picking up stitches, or for changing a stitch, or for fixing mistakes when you're knitting. So I will link these below. You can never have enough of these. Somehow the couch will steal them or whatever. Another handy tool are these. They have an open, these are just like a, oh gosh, what's it called? You knit in the ends of your threads. Gardening needle. I don't know. I will put it below. But these are handy because this fits most any thickness of yarn. You can shove it right through there without having to worry that you can't find the eye of the needle. This has just a really big, nice, flexible needle, and I think you get a package of 3, and they're different sizes, so that's handy, and they're different colors. I might have another one in here. I think this pink one is one. Yes, so you can see they're different widths and different lengths, but they're very handy. Those are great to have. Let's see. This is another bag that I got. I found this actually at our apple orchard. So any sort of bag is really handy. This one has a zipper. I use this for notions. So it has this on this side, and then on this side it has this little llama, and it has a pocket on this side too that I can keep patterns in. Highlighting tape. This is very handy if your person likes to do color work and use charts. That's fabulous. Another tool that's kind of handy is this, who's it made by? Susan? No, Ann Bud. And it is a handy gauge ruler. That's the name of it. And for those of you that aren't knitters or crocheters, you might not know what a gauge is, or I don't know if that's just knitting. I'm not a crocheter. But this has white and black. So no matter if you're using a light yarn or a dark yarn, you can check your gauge, and it tells you from 9 stitches being 1 inch to 4 stitches being an inch. So from 4 to 9 stitches, what your gauge is. And that's very handy, and it's nice to know. And then on the other side, it has a ruler. So this is a handy little tool. Oh, and it is 9 inches long. Another something that's kind of handy, I don't use this one as much as I use something else, but this is a magnetic. So like there's magnets here, and then both of these are magnetic, so that if I were doing a pattern and I needed to watch where my pattern was, I could put it in here, and then this will highlight whatever line I am on right here in the middle. And then I could just move this as I go. One reason I'm not partial to this one is because it's not clear and I can only see the one line, and I kind of like to see the other lines too, or at least the line that I've just done, so that I know where I'm at. sometimes that helps me. So for me, I prefer the highlighter tape over this, but these are handy, and if you got your knitter one of those, they wouldn't be upset, I'm sure. But the highlighting tape is definitely a good thing. Oh, here's another yarn cozy. Here's another, this is really cute, by RandomFandomBags. It looks like a tea bag, but it is just a notions pouch, so you can put whatever you want in here. Another tool that's handy, kind of like the handy tool that I showed you with the needle on one side, or the crochet hook on one side and the pointy end on the other. This is a similar thing. It doesn't have the pointy end, but it has 3 different sizes of crochet hooks on a ring, so they all stay together and you can keep those. I also keep some stitch markers in here, and I have some handy scissors in here. Like I said, those scissors are nice to have. Here are my highlighters that I keep, and there's one missing because it's in a project bag. A manicure set. I know you can find these at the Dollar Tree. I got this one at Expression Fiber Arts. It was $5, so I was already ordering things, but it is so nice to have this in my notions pouch. It has clippers, it has a file, it has little scissors, cuticle pusher, and what's the other one? Maybe it's tweezers. So it has everything you might need to clip off the little hangnails or whatever you have on your nails, because that does create a problem, especially in the winter when a lot of people are knitting. It gets so dry, so these are nice to have. I keep some extra needles in my bag, but those aren't necessary. Oh, here is they're made by Clover, pattern chart marker set. So it came with 2. One is longer than the other one, so I have them in here, but again, those aren't my favorite, but it's still a nice thing to have. If your person does any beadwork, this might be handy. It's a bead napper, and it's like a little Velcro-y thing. You hold this, you put this on your finger, and you use the Velcro to pick up the beads so that you can stitch the beads right onto your knitting project. I obviously haven't tried this yet because I haven't done any. I did one project with beads and it was a pain, so I got this thinking that I will use this when I do my next project with beads, but I haven't done a second one yet, so that's just waiting to be used. Just putting all of this stuff back in here. Another handy dandy thing is a row counter. This happens to be a digital one. There's also ones that are manual. They all work all right. I didn't used to like the digital one. Now I kind of like it. It is adjustable. You can fit it on whichever finger you like to wear it on. Sometimes I would like to wear it on my thumb. Sometimes I like to wear it on my finger. But it will count how many rows I'm on, and it's just handy to have around. So there's that. I'm getting there, guys. Kind of. Another thing that's really handy is wool wash. If I know that there's a brand called Soak, and this is another brand called Eucalyptus. You can find them on Amazon. You can find them at your local yarn store. You could order them online, but they wash woolens for people. And they're great because they're no rinse. You don't have to rinse it out and do all sorts of things. So this is a really nice thing for a knitter or fiber person to have. I have some more things over here. Some stitch stoppers. These are so cute. So I have a chicken because I call my daughter Chicken. And so anything with chickens I love. These I found on Etsy at Jelby, Jelby, and this one is just a little like felted ball of wool, and it has a little sheep on it. Isn't that cute? And you could pick your color. They're so cute. And it's a progress keeper. You can use it as a progress keeper, or you can just pin it to your bag. You can pin it to your project, and then when you need to take your project somewhere, this actually holds your needles. You slide this, you open this up, put your needles through, and then you can tighten this back up, and this will prevent your needles from, or your work from falling off your needles. Kind of like the other thing that I showed you, the needle minders. This is just a handy stitch stopper. And I keep these in here just because they're special. They're different than my other things, so I like to just have them in here. And one is a chicken, and one is just a ball of felted wool with a sheep on it. There's millions of them. You can find whatever you like. And again, I will link that below. Another something that I have really become fond of is this Knitter's Pride pattern holder. And it holds patterns, and it is magnetic. So this side has a little thing that you can put your pattern inside. And it has a pin, came with. And then the other side holds your patterns. And this holds several sheets of paper. This one has 3 sheets of paper on it. And it has 3 magnets that are this size that you can use to hold onto the paper. And then this can mark what row you're on, going this way or going this way, depending on how your pattern is, so that you can knit it and you can follow it along really easily. I really like this because of that, and I use this often. And it's also nice because you can do this to it and it will sit up, or you can have it sit up this way. There's a little strap here on the bottom that you can make it so that it doesn't open any further if that's a problem for you. I don't usually have to even worry about it. I just leave it open. But it is very handy, and I like this a lot, especially when I'm doing color work, because I really like to use the patterns, and this helps me tremendously. So that is definitely a almost must-have in my opinion. Another something that I love, if you are more spendy, an iPad. I love my iPad. I go to it a lot. I can keep Ravelry up on it. So if I'm watching a podcast, or if I hear of a pattern that I might like, I can easily go to it without having to worry about it, add it to my cart or to my library, and have it stashed so I know where it is to find it and what I need, or if I need to get on the internet for anything, it's handy dandy. So I don't know if that's something that is in your budget, but I thought I would include things for all price ranges, and this is definitely a much more spendy but wonderful tool. Another spendy yet wonderful tool are AirPods. So this is my Apple AirPods. I think that's what you call them. I always forget what to call them. But I use these when I am knitting to listen to either a podcast that's on, so I can knit in the living room with my family or my husband, and he can watch whatever he wants to watch. I can watch on my iPad whatever I want to watch, or I can listen to an audiobook, which is also a wonderful present, would be a subscription to Audible. Love it. A couple other techie kind of things that are fun and useful. This is a magnifying glass, and it is portable. Cat jumped up there. And it is by Carson, and it opens up like this, so it will rest on like the couch or whatever if I need it to, and it has a light, so it will, I can use it without the magnifying glass and just have it as a light to help read my thing. It's handy enough that I can pick it up and use it, or it's nice that I can set it down. It's weighted on the bottom, and it will just set down, and it's fine that way too. So it's very nice. You can use just the magnifying, just the light, whatever you want, and it is very portable. And then it is rechargeable with its little cord that you plug into your laptop or whatever, you know, the wall thing with the little USB. So that is a very handy, I love that. Going with the same theme, I have a couple more things that I really like. This is kind of funny. It's called a Lumina light, and it is made to go around your neck, and then each one of these has a light, and they get brighter. So it has 3 brightnesses, and it is flexible, so you can make it go on anybody's neck, or you could even twist it around, I guess, if you needed to. But it is very handy, especially when I usually craft or knit. I don't usually craft. I usually knit in the living room, and I have a little corner of the couch that I like. And this is so nice, especially when it gets kind of dark out, to see those little stitches, especially if I have to tink, which means like take some stitches out, like unknit. It's hard to see where you need to put the needle, and this is so handy to have. if I don't need a magnifying glass, and it's just a hands-free light. And it's kind of a, I don't know what to call it, like a silly kind of a gift, but it's really useful. It's one of those kind of gifts, and it was very inexpensive. I think it was like $10 or $11. So I will link that below as well. And it is also rechargeable. It takes, no, this one doesn't take batteries. Oh, you know what? I might be wrong. This one takes batteries. Sorry. This one takes batteries. This one takes 3 AAA batteries. This one is the one that uses this. I haven't even had to charge it. It came fully charged and it works wonderfully. So I haven't even had to charge it yet. So it will hold its charge for a while. Another handy thing, I bought something like this for my husband, and then I thought, you know what? I could really use this. This is from Ottlight. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ottlight. They are a little more pricey, but they're supposed to be a really great light for your eyes, and it's supposed to be more like natural light. And this, I kept the thing so you guys could see it, what it looks like. So this is the packaging. It's 4-inch hands-free LED magnifier, 1.5 optical grade acrylic magnifier with powerful 4.25 spot viewer. Lens features a varnishing edge, adjustable cord, long-lasting LED illumination, and batteries included. So this did come with batteries. It takes, I think, 2 or 3 AAAs, but again, it came with them included, so I can tell you 3 AAAs. But it came with a little thing. You just pulled that out. It came with this little protector, and I know that right now it looks kind of silly, but this also, in my head, is a cleanser, or a cleaner, so I can clean off the lens if I get my handprints on it, which, especially with lotion on my hands, sometimes I do. I tied this in a knot, and good grief. Okay. So it comes with this little handy bag that I think you can also use to clean the magnifier. This is the magnifier. You can see how much it magnifies. And then it has a little spot magnifier right in here to really get in there and do the spot magnifier. But here's the deal. This will adjust to however long you need it. You put it around your neck. You can feel like, who was that guy who wore a clock? I don't remember his name. But you then can put it like this. It has rubberized feet kind of things that are made to go against your shirt, and it has a light that I can just turn on. Hopefully you can see that. Did you? Yeah. Oh yeah, you can see that. So it will turn on the light and be a magnifier, and it's totally hands-free. This is handy. I know that this sounds silly and it looks probably kind of silly, and it's definitely not a necessary thing, but it is so handy. So if you have a knitter friend who, you know, might be getting up in age, I don't even know how to say that because I don't feel like I'm old, but I'm old enough that this is very handy. And I love that it has the little bag included. It just is nice. I've not used it a lot, and it was about, I want to say it was less than $20. I think it was more like $15, but I will again link it below. It's very nice to have. I think that if you have a knitter friend, they would appreciate something like this, just because it's so nice to be able to take your knitting with you and not feel like you, I mean, if you're a knitter, I don't know, most of us seem to be kind of addicted to it, and we like to take it with us places, and that's just handy. You could have it in the car, whatever. And I just have a few more things, I think. So yay, this is a long video. Magazines. There are subscriptions. This is one called POMPOMS. It's a fabulous subscription magazine. I would highly recommend it. It has patterns, it has beautiful pictures. It's almost like a work of art. It has some information, but just gorgeous pictures of these knitted projects that might be over your skill level, some of them, but some of them wouldn't be. You could either buy one magazine, or you could buy like an annual subscription to a magazine. This is the only one that I can think of off the top of my head, but I know that there are others. If you just Googled knitting subscription magazines or knitting magazines, you would find some. And POMPOMS is very famous, or well-known. It's more well-known than famous. This is a very well-known and trusted magazine, and it is really nice. I don't even know if I'd call it a magazine. It's more like a book. And I've even thought about getting this spiral bound. Pattern books are fabulous. I have this one, Malabrigo. I use this one a lot, or I use this wool a lot, so this is a fabulous book for me. I just got this as a gift from someone, so I love it, and I know that your knitter would love books like that too. Here's another book that is hardcover. This one is nice because it does open up and stays open. This happens to be by a designer named Debbie Bliss, and it's a baby one, and I love to knit some baby stuff, so this is fun. Here's another one. This is a cardigan. It's 26 cardigans and pullovers that are just oversized and comfy and nice, and I found this on Amazon. So any sort of knitting pattern book. I've even heard, and I've purchased one from the Dollar Tree, and I've heard that it's common to find knitting books at the Dollar Tree. Who knew? Find them there. Your knitter will love it and will never know the difference, and who cares? Part of the thrill for some of the thing is the bargain that you find. But if you want to splurge a little bit for your knitter, this is, I think, $25 on Amazon. It is Vogue Knitting, the Ultimate Knitting Book, and it is a reference book that is fabulous. It has different stitches. It has also, I can't even think of everything that it has. It's yarns and supplies, basic techniques, cables, color knitting, lace, circular knitting, directional knitting, understanding instructions, abbreviations, how to design. It has just all sorts of different things, and it is certainly a reference book, but it is a very handy reference book by Vogue Knitting, which is again a well-known and trusted company, or knitting company. I don't know what else to call it. So I think that is everything that's on my list. So oh no, there is one more thing that I don't even have, but I wrote it down here so I wouldn't forget, or a couple more things. So let's see, the Vogue Knitting book, Luminlight, the Ottlight designer books, POMPOMS, Stitch, subscription monthly boxes, monthly boxes. There's one from Yarn Crush. I mean, if you just Google subscription yarn boxes, you will find some. They're fun because they come every month. I don't have one yet, but it's kind of a neat thing. Also, something that a lot of indie dyers do are advent boxes, and so for the whole month of Christmas you have, so for this year it's a little too late, but next year would be a fabulous gift. Gift certificates to your local yarn store would be fabulous. You can make them from anywhere from, you know, $10 to help with a purchase, or as extravagant as like $250 so that they could get a whole sweater quantity of yarn. That would be fabulous. If you had such a huge gift certificate, you can go in and you could just knew that you could buy anything you wanted. And you had enough to get a sweater quantity of something. So that would be a great gift. Soap, hand cream, the light, iPad, mugs, a Swift and a ball winder. That would be a great gift. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it is what makes your hank of yarn into a cake of yarn. You need a ball winder and a Swift. And I will link mine below. I got mine from Knit Picks, but you can find them other places. And then I said tea or coffee and chocolate. That would be a fabulous gift for a knitter. They would love a little chocolate treat or anything like that. So that's my list. Thanks for watching. I hope that you found something that your knitter will love, or you, if you are a knitter and found something that you might love. I will try to remember to put every link below. If I've forgotten something that you are just dying to have, let me know and I will tell you where I got mine. But I will do my best to edit this and put it all out there so that you will know. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a wonderful day. Happy knitting. Bye-bye.